At some point, many women over 60 start to feel like something is missing. The excitement, the connections, the confidence they once had, where did it all go? Life might look the same on the outside, but inside, there's a growing sense of loneliness, frustration, or even regret. But here's the truth. Happiness doesn't have an expiration date. The reason some women thrive after 60, while others feel isolated and unfulfilled, isn't just luck. It's the choices they make every single day. And unfortunately, many fall into silent traps that slowly steal their joy, their passion, and their independence, without them even realizing it. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 hidden mistakes that could be making you unhappy without you even knowing it. Some of them might surprise you. Others might be things you've been doing for years. But the good news? Every single one of these mistakes can be reversed, starting today. If you're ready to take back your happiness, regain your confidence, and start living life on your own terms again, hit that subscribe button now. This could be the moment that changes everything. Friendships are one of the greatest sources of joy, connection, and emotional support. But as the years go by, many women over 60 find themselves drifting apart from old friends, struggling to form new relationships, and feeling increasingly isolated. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow process, often unnoticed until one day they realize that their social circle has become much smaller and their days feel emptier. For many, it starts with life changes. Retirement, moving to a new home, losing a spouse, or simply growing apart from longtime friends can make socializing feel more difficult. Some women assume that friendship, like love, should happen naturally. But here's the truth. Friendships require effort, and if you stop nurturing them, they fade. Over time, what was once a full, vibrant social life can turn into long days of silence, with fewer invitations, fewer phone calls, and a growing sense of loneliness. One of the biggest mistakes women make is assuming they're too old to make new friends. Society tells us that friendships are for younger years, college, workplaces, parenting groups. But nothing could be further from the truth. The need for deep, meaningful connections doesn't disappear with age. In fact, studies show that women with strong social ties live longer, healthier, and happier lives than those who become isolated. So why do so many women let go of friendships after 60? One reason is fear of rejection. Many women worry that putting themselves out there, inviting someone for coffee, joining a group, or trying to reconnect with an old friend will lead to rejection or embarrassment. But the reality is, most people feel the same way. Everyone wants connection, but very few take the first step to make it happen. Another reason is the habit of self-isolation. After years of putting family first, raising children, supporting a spouse, caring for grandchildren, it can feel unnatural to prioritize your own social life. Many women convince themselves that they're too busy or that it's not a big deal to skip social outings. But the more you withdraw, the harder it becomes to reach out. Loneliness doesn't happen all at once. It sneaks up slowly until it becomes the new normal. But here's the good news. It's never too late to rebuild your social life and create deep, meaningful friendships. The first step? Take inventory of your current relationships. Are there old friends you've lost touch with? Reach out. A simple message, an invitation for coffee, or a handwritten note can be the spark that rekindles a valuable connection. Most people appreciate being remembered. They just need a reason to reconnect. Next, say yes to new opportunities. Join a local book club, sign up for a community class, volunteer, or explore hobby groups. Social settings may feel uncomfortable at first, but the more you engage with others, the easier it becomes. Real friendships aren't built overnight, but they start with shared experiences and regular interactions. Another powerful way to build friendships? Be the one who takes initiative. Many women assume that others are too busy or not interested in making plans, but someone has to take the first step. Invite a neighbor for tea, start a walking group, or suggest a weekly meetup at a local cafe. People crave connection, but they often wait for someone else to make the first move. And finally, let go of the fear of rejection. Not every friendship will last, and not every social event will lead to a deep connection, but that's okay. What matters is putting yourself in the position to meet new people and build relationships that add joy and meaning to your life. Your friendships can be one of the most rewarding parts of your life after 60, but only if you invest in them. Don't wait for loneliness to creep in. Take action now, reach out, and open yourself up to the connections that will make your future brighter. Do you have close friends in your life? What do you think is the key to a lasting, meaningful friendship? Share your thoughts in the comments. Confidence isn't just about how you feel on the inside. It's also reflected in how you present yourself to the world. And yet, so many women over 60 stop caring about their personal appearance, believing it no longer matters. Maybe it starts with skipping makeup, wearing the same old clothes every day, or giving up on hairstyles that once made them feel beautiful. Over time, it becomes a habit, a slow shift into neglecting the little things that once brought joy and self-assurance. But here's the truth. How you take care of yourself directly affects how you feel. It's not about vanity. It's about self-respect, self-care, and the energy you bring into each day. When you stop putting in the effort, it's easy to start feeling invisible, unimportant, or disconnected from the vibrant, confident woman you used to be. Think about how you feel when you put on a well-fitted outfit, get a fresh haircut, or wear a little lipstick. There's a shift in energy. You walk taller, feel lighter, and move with more confidence. Science backs this up. Studies show that personal grooming and fashion choices impact mood, self-esteem, and even brain function. Taking care of your appearance isn't about impressing others. It's about reminding yourself that you matter. One of the biggest mistakes women make is believing that aging means letting go of beauty. Society sends the message that past a certain age, women should fade into the background, that fashion, makeup, and style are for younger generations. But why? Why should confidence and self-expression have an expiration date? Some of the most elegant, radiant women are those who embrace aging without losing their sense of identity and self-worth. So how do you reconnect with the version of yourself that feels confident, attractive, and full of life? It starts with small, intentional changes. First, pay attention to how your clothes make you feel. Are you wearing things that make you feel good, or are you just throwing on what's comfortable? You don't need to follow trends, but wearing colors that brighten your skin tone, well-fitted pieces that flatter your shape, and accessories that add personality can make a huge difference in how you carry yourself. Next, rethink your skincare and makeup routine. As skin changes with age, the same products you used in your 30s or 40s may not work anymore. Hydration is key. Moisturized, glowing skin naturally looks youthful and full of life. A touch of mascara, a soft blush, or a flattering lipstick shade can add warmth and brightness to your face without looking overdone. Hair also plays a huge role in how you see yourself. A fresh cut, a new color, or simply styling your hair differently can make you feel polished and put together. Many women assume that shorter hair is the only option after a certain age, but that's not true. Choose a style that makes you feel good, not one that fits someone else's expectations. And finally, move with confidence. Taking care of your appearance isn't just about what you wear. It's about how you present yourself. Stand tall, walk with purpose, and own your space. Confidence is magnetic, and it comes from knowing that you are still vibrant, beautiful, and full of life. You don't have to spend hours getting ready or change everything about your style overnight. But putting in small, consistent effort reminds you that you are worth it. You deserve to feel attractive, energized, and excited about life, no matter your age. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe, because feeling confident and radiant after 60 is just the beginning. Many women over 60 find themselves caught in a cycle of nostalgia, thinking back to the days when life felt fuller, when their kids were young, their careers were thriving, or they felt more needed. It's natural to reflect on the past, but living in it can become a silent trap, stealing the joy of the present and limiting the future. The problem isn't remembering good times, it's dwelling on them to the point where today feels empty in comparison. When your mind is constantly focused on what was, it's easy to feel like nothing now can measure up. This mindset creates a barrier to new experiences, new friendships, and even new forms of happiness. Many women fall into this habit without realizing it. They say things like, "Life was better when my kids were little," I used to feel so much more confident, or I wish things could go back to how they were. These thoughts, while understandable, keep you stuck in a place of longing instead of embracing the opportunities that still exist. Living in the past can also lead to bitterness and regret. Maybe you wish you had made different choices, taken a different career path, or held on to certain relationships. But dwelling on what ifs doesn't change anything. It only prevents you from moving forward. So how do you break free from this pattern? It starts with shifting your focus. Instead of seeing the past as something lost, see it as proof of a life well lived and a foundation for everything you can still experience. One of the most powerful ways to do this is to start saying yes to new things. Try a new hobby, explore new places, make new friends. You don't have to recreate your past to feel fulfilled again. You can create something entirely new. Another way to stay present is gratitude. Instead of longing for what was, start appreciating what is. What do you have today that you once wished for? What small joys are in your life right now? Your best years aren't behind you, they're still unfolding. But you have to be open to them. Let go of the idea that happiness belongs in the past and start making space for the happiness that still awaits you. As we get older, comfort zones become harder to leave. Many women over 60 start saying no to new experiences, not because they don't want to try, but because fear, hesitation, or self-doubt hold them back. The fear of failure, the fear of looking foolish, or simply the fear of stepping into the unknown can keep you stuck in routines that feel safe, but ultimately unfulfilling. At first, it seems harmless. You skip an event because you don't know anyone there. You decline a trip because it feels like too much trouble. You tell yourself, I'm too old to start something new. But over time, this pattern leads to stagnation, boredom, and even a quiet sense of emptiness. The world keeps moving forward, but instead of growing with it, you feel like you're standing still. The truth is, fear steals more opportunities than failure ever will. How many moments of joy, excitement, or connection have you missed simply because you were afraid to try? Think about the things you've done in the past that once scared you. Starting a new job, traveling alone, learning something new. Now imagine if you had let fear stop you. You would have missed out on experiences that shaped you, strengthened you, and added richness to your life. Saying no to new experiences shrinks your world. It limits your social life, your personal growth, and your ability to find new passions. And the worst part? The more you avoid new things, the harder it becomes to say yes. The brain thrives on novelty. New challenges keep it sharp, engaged, and full of energy. But when you stop challenging yourself, life starts to feel smaller. So how do you break free from this cycle? The first step is simple. Say yes to something new, no matter how small. It doesn't have to be a major life change. It could be trying a new recipe, taking a different route on your daily walk, or signing up for a class you've always been curious about. The key is to take action before fear has a chance to talk you out of it. Another powerful way to embrace new experiences is to stop worrying about what others think. Many women hold themselves back because they're afraid of looking silly or inexperienced. But guess what? Everyone starts somewhere. The most confident, adventurous women aren't those who never fail. They're the ones who fail, laugh it off, and try again. It's also important to shift your mindset from "I can't" to "I can learn." Age is not a barrier. It's an opportunity to explore without the pressures of youth. There's no deadline for trying something new. No rule that says you can't reinvent yourself at any stage of life. Life is meant to be lived, not just observed. The best memories often come from moments when you stepped outside of your routine and did something unexpected. Don't let fear dictate what's possible for you. There are still places to explore, people to meet, and passions to discover. You just have to be willing to take the first step. What's something new that you've tried recently that brought you joy? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear what's been exciting in your life. For years, you've taken care of everyone else. Your children, your spouse, your family, your friends. You've always been the one people turn to, the dependable, selfless giver who put others' needs before your own. But here's the problem. When you spend a lifetime making sure everyone else is happy, you risk losing yourself in the process. Many women over 60 fall into the hidden resentment trap. a cycle of constantly sacrificing for others while ignoring their own needs. At first, it feels natural. It's how you've always lived. But over time, something shifts. You start feeling unappreciated, exhausted, and emotionally drained. Maybe you silently wish someone would ask how you're doing for a change. Maybe you feel like after giving so much, you deserve a little more in return. But instead of speaking up, many women push these feelings down, convincing themselves that self-care is selfish. They believe that if they stop giving endlessly, they'll be seen as uncaring, ungrateful, or worse, unneeded. And so they keep saying yes, even when they're exhausted. They keep showing up for everyone else, even when they're struggling. Until one day they realize they don't even know what they want anymore. The truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. The more you neglect yourself, the more your energy, patience, and joy are drained. Eventually, resentment creeps in. Not because you don't love the people in your life, but because you feel like you've given everything away and left nothing for yourself. So how do you break free from this pattern without feeling guilty? The first step is recognizing that taking care of yourself doesn't mean abandoning others. It simply means prioritizing your well-being as much as you prioritize everyone else's. Start by asking yourself, what do I need? When was the last time you did something purely for your own happiness, with no obligation to anyone else? It doesn't have to be grand, a quiet morning with a book, a walk in the park, a hobby you've neglected. The point is to reconnect with yourself, to remind yourself that your needs matter too. Next, learn to say no without guilt. Many women struggle with this, fearing they'll disappoint or let others down. But saying no isn't rejection, it's simply setting a boundary. Your time, energy, and peace of mind are valuable, and you have the right to protect them. The more you practice setting limits, the more others will respect them, and the more space you'll create for the things that truly bring you joy. And finally, replace guilt with self-worth. Instead of feeling bad about taking time for yourself, remind yourself that you deserve it. You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's necessary. Imagine how much better you could show up in life if you weren't running on empty. Imagine how much more you could give, from a place of joy instead of obligation, love instead of exhaustion. It all starts with the decision to put yourself first, not last. Taking care of yourself isn't just good for you, it's good for everyone around you. When you feel fulfilled, energized, and happy, your relationships thrive. You set an example for the people in your life that self-care is not a luxury. It's essential. And if this message resonates with you, don't just let it be another thought in the back of your mind. Make the commitment today to start valuing yourself as much as you value others. Take that first step, whatever it looks like for you. And if you believe more women need to hear this, hit like and subscribe, because your happiness matters, now more than ever. You don't notice it at first. A little more stiffness in the morning, a bit less energy throughout the day, maybe an extra few pounds that don't come off as easily as they used to. It's easy to brush off these changes as just part of getting older. But what if I told you that many of the struggles women face after 60 aren't caused by aging itself, but by neglecting their health? Many women spend decades putting their health last, caring for others, managing responsibilities, always making sure everyone else is okay before taking care of themselves. But at some point, that catches up with you. And suddenly, you realize that your body isn't as strong as it used to be, your energy is lower, and things that once felt easy now feel like a struggle. The truth is, your health after 60 isn't just about luck or genetics. It's about choices. The good news? No matter where you are today, you can make changes that will improve how you feel, how you move, and how much independence you maintain in the years ahead. One of the biggest mistakes women make is assuming it's too late to start. Maybe you haven't exercised in years, maybe your diet hasn't been great, or maybe you've been dealing with health issues that make it feel impossible to get back on track. But studies show that even small changes at any age can lead to massive improvements in energy, mobility, and overall well-being. So where do you start? Movement is key. Many women slow down after 60 thinking they need to take it easy to avoid injury. But the reality is, staying active is what keeps you strong and independent. Simple activities like walking, stretching, and strength training can make a huge difference in preventing muscle loss, improving balance, and keeping your joints healthy. Even 15 to 30 minutes of movement a day can help prevent the stiffness and weakness that lead to falls and mobility issues. Another critical factor, what you put into your body. Many women over 60 don't get enough protein, fiber, and essential vitamins, leading to slower metabolism, weaker muscles, and digestive problems. Processed foods, excessive sugar, and too much salt can increase inflammation and drain your energy. Focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods, lean proteins, leafy greens, healthy fats, and plenty of it to fuel your body and keep it functioning at its best. And then there's sleep, something far too many women neglect. Poor sleep isn't just about feeling tired. It affects your brain health, immune system, and even your ability to maintain a healthy weight. Creating a nighttime routine, reducing screen time before bed, and keeping your sleep environment comfortable can help restore deep, restful sleep that leaves you energized instead of exhausted. But the most important thing? Don't wait for a health crisis to start taking your well-being seriously. It's easier to maintain strength, flexibility, and energy than to try and get it back after it's been lost. Every choice you make today impacts how you'll feel tomorrow. Taking care of your health isn't about avoiding aging. It's about aging well. It's about ensuring that you have the strength, energy, and freedom to keep doing the things you love for as long as possible. Because at the end of the day, your health isn't just about living longer. It's about living better. Do you have your own ways of staying in shape and feeling good after 60? Share your best tips in the comments. I'd love to hear what works for you. There's a belief that quietly sneaks into the minds of many women after 60. It's too late. Too late to start over, too late to learn something new, too late to change habits, too late to chase dreams that once felt possible. This is one of the most dangerous lies we tell ourselves, because the moment we believe it, we stop living fully. But let me ask you something. Who decided that a certain age means the end of new beginnings? Society often pushes the idea that after a certain point, women should step back, slow down, or fade into the background. But the women who truly thrive in their later years are the ones who reject this idea completely. Think about it. If you had 5, 10, or even 20 more years of good health ahead of you, how would you want to spend them? Would you rather stay in your comfort zone, doing the same things over and over, or would you rather experience more, challenge yourself, and prove that your best years aren't behind you, but right in front of you? The belief that it's too late is nothing more than fear disguised as logic. It keeps you stuck, convincing you that change is pointless, that your dreams don't matter anymore, that who you were in the past is all you'll ever be. But the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to stop waiting. Look around. There are people starting businesses at 65. There are women who take up painting, dancing, or writing for the first time in their 70s. Some of the most vibrant, fulfilled people didn't find their real purpose until later in life. The only difference between them and those who stay stuck is that they refuse to let age be an excuse. So how do you break free from this limiting belief? Start small. Make one change. Take one step towards something that excites you, even if it's unfamiliar or uncomfortable. Say yes to something you would normally say no to. Challenge yourself to break a routine that's keeping you stagnant. Because the moment you prove to yourself that change is possible, you open the door to an entirely new way of living. And most importantly, stop asking, what if it's too late? And start asking, what if I still have time? Because the reality is, you do. The question is, what are you going to do with it?